And what's happening? What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Whew. I gotta admit, I am hella tired today, but still here to do a live stream. Told y'all I'd be here, so I'm gonna be here for y'all. But wanted to make sure that I did come on here and hang out with you for a little bit. But what's up to everybody? Thanks to the 11 of you that are in here already. I see that we've already got people chatting, but thanks to everybody for being here. Thanks for the support as always. I'm gonna try to make it through here, but I am worn out. Sorry for the teenage blemish here. I've got this zit that's just barely going away. I think it might even have like a little an eyebrow hair or something in there because it feels like it might. But anyway, that's like all I can see. That's a big thing. But anyway, what's up? So let's shout out all of you that are here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that goodness. I'm going to be showing off something today that I've been working on for a while and finally got it installed in a plane. But thanks to y'all for being here. Be sure to check out the website. Not a whole lot been going on there as of late, but a lot more will be happening because I'm actually back into the groove of coming up with some innovative stuff. for y'all to check out. Um, but like, comment, share, subscribe, all that goodness. The channel is still growing, which I'm happy about. Been trying to drop shorts every day, which has been helping, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying them. I've got so many videos, there's no reason not to be able to post a short every day. But let's get to who was here first. Looks like Mr. Jeff in Lower Alabama was here earlier today, so thank you for showing up early and chatting, Jeff. And who else is here? Mr. Michael Bear is here as well. What's up with you, sir? And I'm going to call out everybody as I see them too. It's not just going to be just right now. But there's Mr. Nick's RC. What's up with you too, buddy? Thanks for being here. Mr. Mike Bird is here as well. What's up with you, my friend? Not a whole lot here yet. Big Jim's RC is here. What's up with you, Big Jim? Howdy, howdy. And I'm going to, like I said, as I see you guys come in, I'm going to shout Mountain RC. I see you too. What's up, bud? Keep looking to see who else is here, but I'm as people come and go, I'll make sure to shout you out. And I keep forgetting to do this. Boom. I like having that stuff on the stage so everybody can see. I should have done that earlier, but that way everybody can see what's going on with the chat without actually having to look at the chat bar, but you can still see. So anyway, thanks to everybody for being here, and thanks for being involved in the chat, which is cool. Keeps things rolling. But yeah, so it's been kind of wonky weather here, so I haven't really been able to do any RC actual flying or driving or anything, but I have been working on stuff. I've got two big projects that I'm wanting to work on, one of which is 95% finished right now. So I'll show you guys, but I'll get that here in a minute. But part of it is right behind me. So I had to get some stuff for one of the birds that I put together. And the funny thing is, this is a tail plane for the horizontal stabilizer for the FMS 1500 millimeter 1500 millimeter P47. So then I'll have to, I think I'll be able to show you guys. I'll get the screwdriver out and show you. But on the one that I got that came with the plane, this part of the elevator half, it wasn't squared like it's supposed to, because it's supposed to key into this. It was just kind of funky rounded and never would catch. So I never did finish the plane. So I ordered this, took about a week and a half to get here, which is good. But so this is going to go on. I'll put this on today. I'm going to do that on live. And then I'll also show you guys the other project that I've been working on, which is part of that plane. I still have to get the receiver in there. And oh, shit, let me do that. Still got to get the receiver in there and finish the final touches. But I'll do part of that here on the stream today, and then I'll show you guys what I'm doing. But so that's one part. The other part, which I think I talked a little bit about last week, was this. Actually, you know what? I need to talk about that too. About my friend Gail. She was just a sweetheart. But anyway, and I got to talk about her too, because she was actually a pretty important person in private aviation. I don't know all the stuff, but I'm working on this still. This is still something for the F-15. The F-15 has been around way too long. Very few modifications have been done in a way that actually work. And I found a way that worked, and I found a way that I can make it work for here. So I'm going to do that for y'all, and I'm going to show you how to do it. But still haven't delved into it yet. I'm going to start really pulling this stuff apart in the next 2 days. And then I have batteries to solder and other planes to get. But yeah, my bird, yes, that was a good friend. You know, that's kind of strange how it worked. Because we weren't really good friends to begin with, but I'll explain. And this was, funny thing is, the pictures that I shared were from like 2014, like 12, 13 years ago. But so let me see if I can pull that up, and I'll show you guys. But her name was Gail Turner Bauer, and she is I have to find. I'd like to do an actual video on her so you can see exactly all the things that she did. As far as I know, she was one of the first female pilots to fly cross country. And then there's a lot of cool things that she did that nobody really knows about. But yeah, I don't have anything. I have a picture here. Let's. I'll pull the picture so you guys can see it. Got to get the add to the screen. I'm out of practice. It's been a couple of weeks. Let's see. Do I have it saved on the computer? I don't know if I do. No, I don't. But yeah, so she was. So let me just get the story straight. So I ended up flying. I fly RC at this place called Baylands, which is one of my park flying areas. There's a guy there that ended up getting us in touch with the person who runs the Hiller Aviation Museum, which is a spot that's a museum sponsored by Hiller, and it shows the history of aviation. And then they decided to start having little RC air shows. That's when they started. I think it was back in 13 or 14. What's up, Spencer? I see you, buddy. How you doing? And we started just doing like little impromptu RC air shows. I ended up breaking away from that one because the person that sponsored them was not the best of people. So I didn't want to deal with the shenanigans that they went through, and they ended up doing the air shows on my own, and I didn't do them I did 2 air shows at Hiller Aviation Museum, but that put me in touch with Willie Turner, who's the guy who ran it. Well, Willie Turner has his mom was getting bored. She's an older lady, and she decided she wanted to learn RC and wanted to know if I teach her. So I taught her how to do RC, and we did it for probably 1 to 2 months of flying almost every day, maybe even a little bit more. I think it was more than that. Actually, it was more than that. It was for like probably almost 6 months, but she had a whole lot of fun with it. It was just something different. She actually was a fairly good pilot too. It's usually when I fly, teach people how to fly that are already pilots, it's usually pretty hard to get them. It's usually pretty hard to get them to switch over. But and sorry for this, but this is her right here. That's her, and that's me. This is back in 2014. My wife took pictures, and then she had a little dog that was hanging out down there at the bottom. But she was a cool lady, very funny. I mean, her sense of humor she was hilarious. I could hardly keep up with her as far as all her wit and all that other stuff. But this is the same kind of plane that I ended up getting around the same time. It was the Wing Surfer. She got one brand new, and she got a good deal for it. The plane was like $79. I helped her put it together. We went through the basics. What you can't see is that we had a little mini, one of those little UMX gliders that she flew as well. But she did really good. We had on the buddy box setup. This is when it was DX6i. So she had one of those, and then I eventually ended up moving up to the newer style radio. But either way, a very cool lady. Super bubbly personality, lots of fun, and it just really sucks to see that she has since passed on, but she did live a good life. She was pretty up there in age, so it was sad to see her go, but glad to have known her. So that is it. But Jelonius, what's happening? What is happening, my friend? So I had a friend that I taught how to fly. She ended up passing away last week, so I posted that. But anyway, so like I said, though, I'm a little bit worn out today. Been working for quite a while, and I had to drive home and drive around today in crazy wet conditions. And I think it rained. It rained a lot and it snowed, so I'm a little worn out because driving by itself is tiring, but having to drive in snowy and rainy conditions, it's even worse. We didn't get snow, but we did get a lot of hail. There's a snow on the hills. we got like over an inch of rain today. We're getting another inch of rain overnight, and then another inch of rain tomorrow. So it's a little bit much. So anyway, but what I was going to bring up was that I have been working on a project. It's been years, just haven't had a chance to actually put it in a plane. But I'm going to show that to y'all here in a minute. Thanks for the condolences. I didn't know her super well, but just the fact that I knew her, that was cool, and it was just sucked to hear that she passed. But also really good that she'd had a nice, long, very fulfilled life. So it was good to just celebrate the time that we had with her. I forget what her age was. I don't know if she was 99, but I know she'd lived a good life. She was pushing 90s, if not already in them. So I'll find that out later. But yeah. Anyway, so not going to spend forever here because I'm probably just going to crash. My eyes don't look it because I put drops in them, but I'm freaking tired. But I wanted to show you something that I've got going, and it's going to be, this is a warbird. This is the FMS 1500 millimeter P47. But I'm going to put the same setup in my FMS P51, which is the same as the E-Flight 15 or 1600 1600 1600 P51. And then I have a couple jets I'm going to put in. I'm going to put them in my 80 millimeter F86. I have a new F5 that I'm going to be putting together. Put them in there too. But I don't want to keep talking about it. I'm going to actually, let's see here. I need to make sure that doesn't come on when I do this. So what's that? So let's see here. It's going to take me a little bit, but I'm going to get my stuff set up. Well, okay, that's on. Turn that off. Okay, so I'm setting up my other camera so I can show you guys. And it's just a really quick demonstration, but because I didn't totally get my everything set up that I wanted to, but I at least got a start. So let's add TV. Mama. Sorry for that. Get the Bluetooth. Okay, so get that connected. And then we're going to put that over there. I'm not going to have that opened at the moment, but I will have it open in a second. So let me turn that off. Yeah, it's the same thing. I didn't really want it to do that, but we're going to do it anyway. So I'm going to have to go set that camera up. And then we're going to show the other stuff here. It's just going to be a little quick demo on what we got going. But so let's get that set up. And I'm going to show y'all what I've been working with. And let's see here. Not that view. Don't look at my big old fat head. Let's look at the other one. Let's look at the other one. In just a second. don't want the front camera because you can look at my big old forehead. I don't want that. I'm just going to go to the back camera. There we go. Now we can look. Okay, there we go. So there's the P47. Now we'll get that off and switch to the other mic. Okay, so you guys let me know if you can hear me because I got it switched, but I don't know if you can hear me okay. Just let me know in the chat so I can see. But that is the P47, and I've got a little bit of a surprise. I still have some more to do to get it together, so I still have all the parts kind of floating around here inside. But I do have a little bit of a surprise for you. So the way that I have this set up right now, it's just going to be, oh man, I really kind of dinked this thing up moving it around. But it's mostly going to be stock, the way the plane came. I'm not going to change. I don't have a prop here because I never run props on planes inside because I don't want to hurt myself or hurt someone. So we're going to do this. We've got those tail plane in the back. Maybe I'm not going to do that on the stream, but I'm going to have to change those. Actually, you know what? I do. I want to show you so I can show you what I was talking about. Show you how it did not go the way I wanted it to go. So, and like I said, the inside of the plane is not quite together yet. Let's get those things off. So I don't have the spar in there either. It's just the wings kind of put in there. So these are coming off. And then I'm going to put the new ones in, and I'll show you why these were no good. What the issue was. Yeah, good. I didn't actually put them in. So. All right, so I don't know if you can see this, but this is supposed to be square. And instead of being square, there's nothing square. It's just like kind of rounded and weird. Doesn't work right. And then on top of that, it wouldn't slot in there right. I had to do all this dremeling. It didn't work. So these do. So that's one off. Let's get the other one out here. Screw. So these are of no use because we have a factory defect. Once I get this one out, I'll show you. And when I was assembling, I didn't quite look at the instructions. You're supposed to slide those things in first and then make sure that they fit and then put the screws. And I did it in the reverse order. Ouch, which does not work very well. So sometimes it is good to get the instructions out and actually read them. There's useful information in there, even for people who supposedly know what they're doing, right? So anyway, so let's look at this real quick. So as you can see here, this is supposed to slot in there, but there is no actual slot. I mean, it kind of fits, but I want to see it works a little bit there. But when it was on the plane, it does not work because there's no real teeth or square. It's not squared. So it didn't work. And when I bump it, one half would move and the other half wouldn't. So see what I mean? See how they don't really key in together? So that ain't gonna work. That would have been a crash. So Dims is doo-doo. I got the brand new ones from FMS. So I'm not actually going to do all the screwing in, but I will put them on just to make sure that they fit. And we will try that out. Oops, bump on the phone, sorry. There's that one. I guess there's a nicely trimmed section here where all I have to do is open it. So these, let me show you. These are the way they're supposed to be. So you can see here, there's an actual key. It's squared. It's supposed to be square. So now it actually fits and there's no skipping. It's an actual key, so it works the right way. So let's put this one in on this side. See, what do you know? Slides right in, no issue. This one slides right in, no issue. Let's get down there, make sure it's going the right way. It is. So push it in. What? Might have to deal with that another time. But let's see here. Get that out. There we go. So I'm not going to mess with this right now because it's on screen, but at least we know that's going to work. But what I'd like to do is do what I was going to show you, which is the coolest part. It's a little Gooniac edition. And this is going to be actually actuated from the radio once I get things set up. But for now, I'm just going to be doing it with a battery. But I'm going to turn the lights off once I get it going. I'm just going to connect this directly to the balance port. So you can see. But it's going to have guns. So you can see that. Get the lights off so you can see. But even during the day, it's pretty bright. It's bright white and red, which is similar to what it would be as if it was a gun. So those are the four. I put 4 on each side, just like the actual one is. So right now, they are just turned on because they're plugged directly into the battery balance lead. But when I get this going the way that it's supposed to be, it's going to be actuated from a switch, just like any other channel. So, and I think that the frame rate on the camera is going to be a little bit off, so it's not going to be totally perfect as to what it's supposed to look like, because it's firing in, you know, whenever guns start, they always kind of start together, machine guns, and then the more they go, they kind of go out of sync. So that's kind of what this is doing. And this was the most realistic that I could get it to do. The main thing was I wanted to be able to see it during the day, and this is really bright. So even with it off right now, it's pretty bright with the lights off. But once you turn the lights back on, you still can see it. And even with the in direct sunlight, super bright, and especially when it's pointing at you, it's really bright. So there you can see. So it's kind of off to the side the way you were seeing it before, so it wasn't as bright. But yeah, so that's that. And like I said, it's going to be actuated from a switch on the transmitter. So um, will be cool. And that's going to be another offering from the website that I've got. Along with, I'm still going to do burners. People still want the burners. The burner market has been totally saturated, and that's fine. It took a long time to get to that point, but it finally is. And I was still able to do what I needed to with it, which is good. They're still selling them slowly but surely, but that's just fine. I have a little bit more of a life going on, so not being able to have all those orders to fill is a good thing. But so yeah, so this isn't going to be expensive. I'm going to make it affordable. It'll be great if I could find some kind of a transducer with sounds, but just the look itself is pretty good. I'm thinking about putting some LEDs in here, possibly, and this thing got beat up just in storage. Possibly doing some lights on the exhaust. I know that when this thing starts in the real one, that there's exhaust there that bypasses, and then once it goes through the turbocharger, there's an outlet in the back. So I might do some Gooniac stacks out the sides here and then in the back, like the real deal. Uh, but for now, it's going to be the guns, and then I plan on putting guns on several other planes. So on the F-86, it's got guns in the cowl. So I'm going to put the guns in the cowl on that one. So I'll have an EDF with some additions to it. And those will be switchable. And it would be great if I could find somebody that has a 90 millimeter or smaller MiG 17 or 15 so that I can chase them with it and then use the guns. But yeah, so I've been working on these for a while. I just haven't really showed. I think I showed a couple times, but not actually showed them in a plane. So being able to show it in a plane is cool. I get to see it. But that is that, and we will have this thing hopefully up and flying within a week or so. I just have to put the. So this is going to use the. I just have to put the final things together. I use the same setup that I did for the burners, except instead of it being on a switch on the throttle, it's going to be on a switch for the radio. I've already tried it; it works. So that connects directly to this. The wings still come off the way they're supposed to, and then I just feed the little burner stuff through it. So it's nothing hard. It's really easy to do. Let me take the wing off so you can see. I'll pull one of the wings off so that you can see where I run the wire. Like I said, I don't have the spar in there because I'm just displaying it. But I ran it along panel lines, so it's not really going to be seen. So it just runs here. And thankfully, when you buy this part is not on the plane. So I just had to drill a little hole through the middle and then put the little LEDs through there, and that's it. It worked great, and that is what Gooniac got going for that. So keep this everything off. So this plane, now that I've got that tail stuff worked out, we can get this thing going. But yeah, so that's it for this. We can figure out what else is going on. We'll chat a little bit more, and then I think we will call it a night. But like I said, I'm pretty dang worn out. But anyway, let's close this down, and I will get to the other camera. All right, so that is it for that. That's that. Hope you guys can hear me okay. But like I said, I've been working on that for a little while. It's just been too many other things going on. I can't just do. I've been doing so many other things instead of just RC, so it's been a little hard to keep up everything. But let me check up on the chat here. Thanks you guys. Thanks to those of you that are still here. I think we've got how many left in the chat? We still got 10. But thank you very much for all y'all looking. Jeff, thank you for staying as long as you could. I know you have a hard time staying up that late, but I do appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. And I'll check you out on your show in a couple days. Looks like the Fred Barron's here under his other name. What's up, man? How are you? Let me know what you guys think of what I just showed, if it's something that you'd be interested in. Let's see. So yeah, I'm catching up on the chat here. See what you said. Oh, let's see. Oh, Just Passionate's here. What's up, man? I see you now. Thank you for making your way over. Much appreciated. And Paul McNeil, I see you too. Was she a 99? I think she very well could have been. I don't remember exactly what that means, but she was a very cool person. I have to get more info and then I'll post it, because she had a pretty cool life, did a lot of cool things. And she had kids, and now her grandkids are doing cool stuff too. Her son is a full-scale pilot, but he runs the Hiller Aviation Museum. But he's still a private pilot. He still flies, and the little biplane that she flew cross country, he still owns and flies regularly. And then his son, both of his sons are pilots. One is a pilot in the Air Force. Started out flying F-15s, then moved up to F-35s. So been doing this for a while. I actually flew with him RC for a little bit. And then the other son, I flew RC with him a little bit too, and he is a full-scale pilot for an airline. So just a pilot family. And I think his dad was a pilot too. Willie Turner's dad was a pilot. So yeah. Anyway, Paul McNeil, I don't know. You learned from it. Okay, that's cool. 49 hours in the 72. Very cool. You cover lots of ground in that Falcon, my friend. I know you do. So very cool. Very cool, Michael Bear. So let's see what else he said. I never had problems with her. Oops. So hey, you guys are chatting a lot. That's good. 885. Very cool. Very cool. And I guess that Michael Bear kind of liked what I posted. That's a good reaction. And Paul McNeil liked it too. It looks like Mr. Mike Bird as well. The only thing I dislike about doing things with cameras is that sometimes the frame rate makes it look less bright, and you don't see the frequency as much as they actually are in person. But yeah, and as far as the P-47s go too, I was tempted to do a P-47 in the Tuskegee Airmen, because they flew these as well. I think they flew this version, which was the Razorback. I don't think they flew the Bubbles until later on, but yeah. So let's see what else. I'm not, and like I said, I'm not going to make these crazy expensive. I just got to make sure I can still get what I need. But I don't plan on selling them for a crazy amount. I do have to make money on it, but I'm not going to sell it for like an exorbitant amount of money. But I do have to make a little bit. And like I said, Jeff, thanks for being here. I know it's late over there for you, but you made it happen. Thank you very much. And yes, I did see that there. There have been some pretty cool videos on some World War II stuff. There was a very cool video on the ME-163 and on a squadron of ME-163s going after some bombers and what they did and what they endured and what they had to go through. Pretty cool to see that rocket motor, the rocket engine or motor, whatever they call it. I knew quite a bit about it, but I didn't know that it was, I knew that it was throttleable, but I didn't know how long it could fly. So I saw a video of them showing how that ME-163 worked in the war, and the Germans are pretty innovative with the stuff that they did. Paul McNeil, I'll make it available soon, you'll see. And then shooting a gun down the center of the crankshaft is also something that they did with the P-39 and P-63. Straight through the center. But yeah, that was something. Right down the center line, which makes it easy to aim because it's boom right there. But let's see what else. And yes, the props synced with machine guns. That's just the way. You just have to have the ME-109 or BF-109. It had to shoot through the props. The FW-190 did as well. I think through the shot through the props, and then on the wings. But there's just like cam gears in there that keep things from happening, but from shooting the prop off. And I think that during the war, there were times when those sinks would get shot off and then they'd end up shooting their prop off, not realizing it. So, but anyway, so yes, I'm going to make those available. The P-47 is the first one that I've done. Actually, the first one I did was the F5 a while ago, but that ended up not going as I planned because I used the wrong way to actuate them. And it fried things in my F5, which is part of the reason why my F5 is no longer with us. So I went back and did it the simple way and used the same controller that I do for my burners, and it works out great. So it's going to be one of those things that's going to be controlled with a switch, and the way that I do it is going to keep it from messing with the battery. When I use a receiver controlled switch, something in that receiver controlled switch would short out the cells, so I didn't like, and it fried everything inside the it fried everything inside the plane. I don't know how or why, but it fried up a whole bunch of stuff. I went to actuate them, and it was just like everything fried. And I'm lucky the plane didn't go down. But so that's going to be something new that I will be offering on the channel. And Michael Bear, they started that system with planes in World War I. So I think they'd had it pretty well worked out. But in battle, there were some things that they could do that would actually mess things up. So, but yeah. So Paul McNeil, what you talking about? 3S800. The way that I have the setup right now, it's set up to run off of the actual battery that the plane, the drive battery. You can use a spare battery. You don't need to, but you can use a spare. The way that I have it set up, it doesn't mess with anything, and it hardly uses any power. It's basically not using any, so it's not even going to unbalance your battery at all. So that's that. And I think we are pretty much done with what I was planning on doing today. So thanks to all of you that have been here for the duration. Very much appreciated. You don't need, I wouldn't, here, let me show you. Let me go grab some. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I've got to grab. So the way that I design this, LEDs don't use any extra power. The type that I use, they don't, there's no point in using an external battery because all you're doing is adding weight. Unless you need the weight for ballast, I wouldn't bother. So I'm going to show you what I've done here. Get that question out. You can if you want to. It's not necessary. So when I was first coming up with this setup back in 2018, I couldn't figure out a way to power it. without having a spare battery. So over the time, I came up with a way to tap off the whatever battery you use. And if you use a battery with more than 6 cells, I can cut this and make this still work the way you need it to. That's my loose. But anyway, this just goes on your balance lead. So this is a 3S balance lead. Oops, 3S balance lead. This snips right on there. No issue. And it powers, that's 12 volts. The burners that I use and any of the other LED stuff that I use, there is hardly any draw. So you will not put any of your planes out of balance with this. It makes it really easy. I've had a few flights where it was just where the burner was basically on the whole time, the afterburner, and it was on the whole time. With my F-22, 1, 2, 3 different sets of arrays in there, and I left basically a flight of full throttle. None of the batteries were out of sync. None of the cells were out of sync. So there's no point in using a spare battery unless you want the extra ballast. But and then this is the controller. It's just simple on off if you want it to be. You can vary it if you want, but when it comes to guns, you just want guns on and off. So that's that. But yeah, there's Paul McNeil. You don't need. There's zero need for a spare. You can do it if you want, but there's no need for it. This is all standalone, and I purposely cut the wire here to make sure that there's no interference with the actual circuitry and the receiver. So you just use that and be done. But yeah, and I got another part too for my T-28. I got a spare prop from and this is for the arrows bird. There's nothing on there for the arrows T-28. That little T-28 is a lot of fun. Glad I got it, and it can actually be hand launched too if I wanted to. So anyway, they're LEDs. They're just LEDs by themselves, and then I cut them all. How do I put it? I don't have the actual guns. Do I have them out there? I don't think I do. I think I put them somewhere else. But the guns themselves, when you buy that plane, the guns are separate. So you just add them on. You just have to glue them in place. Just have to grind a couple spots and then make a little valley for the wires, and you're good. It's not hard to do. Pretty easy. I don't have any of the spares out with me. They're just little plastic pieces. The guns that come with the plane, they don't have holes in the center, so you've got to drill a hole in the center, and then the wires won't run right through. No issue. You use a little bit of hot glue to hold them in place, and you're all done, all set, all good to go. And then you run your wire. Depending on the plane, this plane uses 2 wing halves, so you have to poke a hole to run through, which I'll show in the video when I actually put get this stuff ready to sell. But yeah, pretty easy. It's nothing complicated at all. It's just if you want that little bit of extra set of realism. The F-86, I'm really looking forward to that because that should be pretty cool. These guns are the smaller. There are some guns that are bigger, and I have bigger LEDs for those that do the exact same thing. They're just slightly larger LEDs. These are the small 2.5 millimeters. And then I have the 5s that will work as well. If you've got cannons, that'll work in those. But anyway, that's pretty much it. When I always say I don't plan on going for very long, but what do you know? It's already almost been an hour. But I do appreciate all of you being here with me for this and for the explanation and all the goodness. But I'm going to get going because I'm getting droopy-eyed, tired, and need to get some rest. But we will be back. 2.5 millimeter. They're 2.5 millimeter LEDs, really small. Actually, you know what? I can grab a wing. Let me grab the wing and I'll show you. Oh. Okay. So that's them right there. The light's a little bright, so it makes it harder to see. But that's the underside. This is where I had to run the wire. I ran it through spots that were already there. This part right here is hidden. It's inside the fuselage. And then this goes through and goes through the plane. I have to put that back through there and tape it down. But that's that. So these are 2.5 millimeter. Is the glue still on there? 2.5 millimeter. Let me turn the light down just a tad. There we go. 2.5 millimeter LEDs, and they fit right in there. You just have to drill a hole through these to make them fit. They go through, and the wire. You just have to make a little bit of room for the inside for the wires, and then they just go straight through there, and that's it. It's pretty easy. And when I do the video showing how these work, I'll explain a little better. But that is it. And actually, you know what? I can show you again the guns without it being in there. But so again, battery. This plugs directly into the balance port like that. And I've got this right here. So you get to see how bright it is. Oh man, yeah, it's really bright. That's just shining on me. But that's them right there. Super bright. But and like I said, the camera doesn't always show you how they're really flashing because of the frame rate. But that's it. This little part here, the little plastic part, this comes separate when you have the plane. And if it's on the plane, it's actually pretty easy to pop off because it's just a little bit of glue holding it. But that too. The stacks, I don't know if I'm going to put them on this plane, but the stacks will be on the P-51 for sure. What's that? So yeah, so that's that. I think it works pretty good. And it's constant flashing, which is cool. So it just looks like, and when you actually see this in person, it does look like a gun firing. So it works pretty good. But that's that. And it's not on the face of it. Oops. Okay, so that's that. It uses next to no power at all, which is exactly what you want. You don't want there to be a big draw. So that's pretty much it. And like I said, very much appreciate y'all being here. And I'm gonna get going, but we'll be back next time. And stay tuned for the videos. I've had lots of video shorts going up with full scale aviation and RC stuff. Trying to do one every day, sometimes several every day, sometimes several a day, but one a day is enough for now. So just stay tuned, and I will see y'all on the next one. And hopefully we'll be getting some stuff from the field here soon. But once the weather clears up. All right, music will stay on for a bit, and then we will end the show. So thanks for being here, guys, and see you next time.